Here we go. This is our fifth podcast. Welcome back, Kevin.
Yeah.
You're my only one and only guest so far.
Yeah, okay.
But today we're going to talk about observing of holidays between East and West, and I guess you can be the Eastern perspective since I don't know enough about it. But I'm going to just give me one second. I'm still getting used to all the Twitch streaming here, so I'm going to share this with you. Okay. So we're live. And okay. So between the East and the West, I mean, today's Christmas, perfect timing. And oh, by the way, Merry Christmas.
Let's have a drink.
Let's have a drink. This is
We're not supposed to drink for Christmas.
This is a grapefruit grapefruit sour.
Grapefruit sour. Okay.
Yeah. So this is from that same brewer, the Growlery. So tell me what you think. This is supposed to be grapefruit.
Okay, so another commercial for them.
No. Like, they don't pay. We're
us.
doing this completely free. Yeah. Okay. Cheers. Merry Christmas.
Cheers. It's kind of sour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start. So it's Christmas. Merry Christmas, and
Merry Christmas.
Let me.
Yes.
So how would it be celebrated in China?
No, China don't celebrate Christmas.
Sure, they do. I've seen it on TV.
Yeah, I know. So see, here's the thing, right? About China, because I think, in the past, when I was in China, we sort of celebrate Christmas, and in fact, back then, I don't even know what Christmas is all about. We call it 圣诞.
Okay.
圣诞. So, it just at that time we think, it's a holiday from the West. It must be good. Like it is supposed to be joyful and like it's a time for family to get together and exchange gifts. It seems like a happy time, right? So I think by that, people kind of accept and celebrate Christmas as a very how to say a Western holidays. Honestly, because a lot of people don't know what Christmas is all about.
Yeah.
Until I came to Canada, and then and then I learned about it, and then Christmas, it's the birthday of Jesus Christ.
Okay,
So it's very religious.
Yeah.
But in fact, in China, none of that it seems religious.
Yeah,
right?
it's about shopping, right?
Because it's commercialized.
Yeah.
It's about exchanging gifts and cutting the trees, and then that's I don't know, that's a religious.
But how much?
But what does the Christmas tree?
How much
have
do you
to
see
that?
of religion now? Not much. It's similar, right, to China.
I don't know about that, because I think Canada it started as like a religious country, right? Like Christianity and Catholic.
Okay.
It's the majority, the mainstream religion in
Protestants
here,
and
in
Catholics.
Protestants,
Yeah.
in Canada, right? Actually, when this country was founded, religious is the main thing. Like, everybody go to church on Sunday, right? Because I don't know, like I said, the people come from Europe, mainly England, right? They're religious back then.
Okay, let me
then
ask
they
you.
bring
Kevin,
the-
let me ask you a question though. Okay.
the religion
So
here.
so we're a multicultural mosaic, right?
Yeah.
How come I don't get to I don't get to, let's say, take days off for Diwali, and Chinese New Year, but only the Christian holidays.
Yeah, there's no official holidays for minorities.
But why aren't we
Because it's
observing
only
those
for
too?
them.
We're multicultural. We're mosaic, right?
Not mosaic enough. So we're kind of like a semi-mosaic.
Because
if you talk about that.
I read a
Because we're not
statistic.
there yet.
Canadians, I think we take the least amount of holidays out of all the countries. Like Hong Kong, they get 2 weeks for, is it 2 weeks or a week for Chinese New Year? I think it's a week.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a
so
week, right?
It used to be a week
Yeah.
when I was a kid. About 7 to 10 days. People usually, everybody dropped the work and,
Yeah.
and just go back to wherever
Yeah.
they came from.
What holiday in Canada is a week? We don't get. That's like amazing.
Well, that
I would
Christmas
love
is,
it.
Christmas is not a week. It's just
a
like
day,
for
one
most
day.
of the people, yeah, a day, couple of days, and then there's some couple of work days in between, and then the New Year's, right? If you take those 2 3 days off, because there's Boxing Day,
Yeah.
and the 27th is not, right, and then 28 maybe,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have to take those days off in order to have like a full week off,
Yeah.
and then the New Year is another holiday, right? So that's different, right?
Yeah.
Christmas is being the biggest holiday in the West, and yet it's only celebrated for one day. Boxing Day is another, you know, holiday, but it's mostly commercialized.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
do you know what Boxing Day is all about?
I don't know the origins. Maybe you could tell me.
I don't know, like maybe just because lots of gift during Christmas Day, right? People unbox those
Yeah.
gift box, and
Yeah.
then on the 26th you throw away those boxes. Or it's commercialized, right? So you go to the mall and you fight for the cheap or half on sale stuff, right? You have to box each other for that,
Yeah.
so you
So
right? I don't know if that's the origin. So, yeah,
Well,
interesting.
I mean, maybe I actually should look it up. Maybe that's how it did start with, maybe there's like fights or whatever, and
I don't think it's about fight, but actually it's commercialized, right? So this stuff on sale in the mall used to be quite a bit like discount, right? But now it's not, right? Everything it's kind of like it's a deception, because what happened is that they just jack up the price before the holiday, right? And then they cut it in half, 50%, but it's still higher than the original price.
yeah,
And that's a trick right now. So, when I first came to Canada, and we usually go shopping in Boxing Day, because there are lots of stuff on sale, especially electronics. Right? At back then, we're buying TVs, big screen TVs, fridge and things like that. Right? It's a good deal.
yeah,
And people line up overnight. Actually, I still remember to just get a good deal, right? But nowadays, like they have this boxing not just day now, like boxing week.
yeah,
So things will be on sale for the whole week, and in fact, I don't find any, this true discount on that. So I think it loses original intent,
Oh,
and people now may already realize that.
I think everything does, right? Like Christmas, I don't know.
But okay. Finish what you're saying. But I have
Okay,
something
so
else.
I'm gonna say, look at all the holidays. So Christmas, Valentine's Day. Now we got Black Friday, which is almost considered a holiday these days, right? It can lose its original intent, where it just becomes commercial. So the original intent for Black Friday, like you could get a good deal. Boxing Day, you can get a good deal. Now you go this year. I went to there's so few deals that are actual deals. They make it look like a deal, but then they're just selling old stock, right? And you'd say, why? What is the purpose of? Sometimes I like to reserve the Black Friday, and I don't really go to work so that I can see if I can get a deal. And not usually I'm wasting my time, because I find out I can't get any deals.
No, exactly. So, I think, I think I used to heard the saying, because 80% of the sale for most of the store, it's done, just for Christmas and Boxing Day.
Yeah,
So they make most of the profits throughout the year just in those 2 days.
yeah,
Because look at the traffic out there, right? People just rush into the store and get the gift. So what you were saying is actually very interesting, because Halloween, it's all about selling candies.
sure, yeah,
Christmas, it's all about buying gifts.
yeah,
Boxing Day, same. Now Black Friday, they invented another one. What does it tell you? Capitalism, right?
yeah, for sure.
So every holiday is hijacked by
But isn't
commercial.
in
It's
China?
all about buying,
Yeah,
right? So you see the pattern here, right? Okay, so we're gonna talk about the festival and holidays in China.
Yeah.
So then we can have
I
a
read
comparison
something. I read something
about the
where
cultural difference.
I read something where they have a new holiday in China. So they have the Chinese Valentine's Day, but then they also have another new one. I can't remember what it was.
The Double 11.
Double 11. Yes.
It's
11,
invented
11.
by Jack Ma, so the Taobao, right? So because when the
Alibaba, right?
Alibaba, yeah, Taobao, Alibaba. So when the online commerce took off, right? So everything is done online. So people used to buy in throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
But they actually created that festival, like it's called the Double 11. What that implies that two ones is like single people. They found out, right? The single people like to buy stuff because they don't have family because they're bored. I don't know, for whatever reason, right? They like to buy stuff.
Uh-huh.
So they say, why don't we have a day for those single people, right? And then let them give them discount so they can buy stuff. But then it turns out, they do have true discounts.
Yes,
Actually, a lot of
I've heard
people
this, yes,
actually
yes, yeah.
actually shop around and put items in the shopping cart, and they will clear out that cart on that day because the price difference.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was very successful.
Yeah.
They have the record sale, for a few years, but now it's going down, like, because I don't think people will actually buy that anymore. It then maybe people realize that, oh, maybe the buying powers is going down or something. I don't know, but it's not as popular as before. But somehow they invented another holiday
I'm sharing the
out of
link.
that.
I'm sharing the link for this podcast
Yeah,
to you,
okay.
so you can share it with your daughter
Yeah,
and
sure.
her boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, so maybe I'll
And then we can get more followers, and
I can yeah.
then we could eventually retire, right?
Yes.
Talking about holidays and
Talking about holidays.
permanent vacation.
That's right.
Okay, so yeah, double 11, singles holiday, and literally created by an entrepreneur like Alibaba
Yeah.
for a commercial purpose, but it's a holiday. It's celebrated. What I mean, isn't a holiday supposed to have some sort of special meaning, like Remembrance Day or whatever? Now we create holidays just because we want to spend more money.
Remembrance Day is actually not a holiday, not an official civic holiday until recently, right? Because
Sure.
in the past,
Yeah, I just use that
Remembrance
as an
is not.
example,
But
right?
yeah, so you can have these official holidays, or you create new ones, if you want, right? Because you may have like I don't know, like a divorce, guys holiday.
But if for 11/11, is it an actual holiday? You get the day off?
No, you don't.
Oh, okay,
You don't.
okay,
It's just
okay.
a day they.
So it's like
they
Amazon
celebrate.
Prime
So it's
Day.
like Amazon Prime Day. Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Because Amazon
okay.
copied that, right? So
Okay.
they call it Prime Day,
Yeah.
where they have things on sale, right? Maybe, and then Black Friday,
Mm-hmm.
it's an American tradition. Usually after Thanksgiving, right? The next day, Black Friday. We don't, but now Canada is also following Black Friday, because why not, right?
So what official holidays are there in China? Is the Mid Autumn Festival a holiday?
Yes, so yeah, see, that's
get days
different,
off?
right? So it's not quite a religion, because there's no true religion in China.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think all the festivals and holidays in China follow the nature,
Yeah,
like follow
the lunar-
the environment.
Yeah.
It's more of following what's happening around our human world, right? So for example, the Mid Autumn festival that you talk about is that, in August 15, the lunar calendar, right? The moon is the brightest because it's closest to Earth. So they say, hey, why don't we have this day as a holiday to kind of symbolize the reunions of family? Because it's, I think in the old time as well, people like travel some other place to work, and then they kind of miss their family, right? So the rounded moon, right? It's a symbol for union, right? Because it's the brightest and the roundest throughout of the year. So what would be the best things to celebrate that, to symbolize that, right?
Yeah.
So they create a festival out of that, right? So that's why how the moon festival come about.
Yeah.
And also there's other festival and holiday as well, right? It's also follow the the season change or
We got Sarah chiming in with on the chat. She said holidays are also for spending time with loved ones, family, and friends, which is true, right?
which is true.
You're talking about the Lunar New Year, and what did you say? It not the Lunar Mid Autumn Festival, and you use that time of the moon to spend with family for some reason.
Because it's symbol, right? Symbol of reunion. So
Yeah.
it's the the moon is round and it's bright. Actually, when we were kids, we just running around during the night because the moon was so bright. It's almost like daytime. It's actually very very bright.
Right.
It was to my surprise, but when I came to Canada, I never seen such a bright moon at night. Even though the moon is huge around that time as well, but the moonlight is never that bright.
Okay, I figured something out. So if I go to the stream manager, I
Yeah.
can see the chat on here, so I don't have to keep looking back over
Yeah,
here
yeah,
and
yeah.
get
So
distracted.
maybe you
Okay.
can take a look at that. Yes,
okay.
I think when like Cher say, holiday time is meant to spend time with the families. Yeah, so that's why there's so many family days to create it. In Canada, simply
Okay.
called family days for no reason. Just say, hey, we're just tired of working. Just go home and spend
don't
spend
know
some
about
time with your
that.
kids. It is because when I was working in Ontario, they don't have the same family days as us, but there's some federal holidays, right? So
Yeah.
so then each province allowed to have their own holidays. So I think all in all provinces is supposed to have equal number of holidays throughout the year.
Right.
So Alberta has some family days. It's not necessarily the same time as Ontario, because Ontario just recently added something called family days.
Okay.
So then it adds up to the same amount of holidays as Alberta. I don't know Manitoba.
But how about in China? I think China has more holidays than we
China
do.
has more holidays.
Yeah.
Because the New Year, the Spring Festivals, celebration the New Year, they have like 7 to 10 days.
I want that.
Yeah, 7 to 10 days. And then, of course, they have the National Day, right?
Yeah.
October 1st. So they celebrate that as well. Of course, like our Canada Day, right? So,
But do they also, do you get time off for Christmas?
no, you don't,
No. Oh,
because it's not an official holiday.
How about-
and then what's interesting is that now what's happening is that I think there's some people saying, oh, yeah, Christmas is not our holiday. Why are we celebrating the Western holiday, right? Because I think it started by, for young people because they think, oh, Christmas Eve is so romantic, without knowing it's Jesus' birthday, right?
How about New Year, Western New Year? Do you celebrate that?
No, yeah, New Year's is called the first day of the year, right? So it's a holiday.
Holiday,
It's
okay.
a holiday, yeah.
How about okay? So we have New Year's. You obviously don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
We don't have Thanksgiving. We're not eating turkeys during that time. So although there's turkey in China, we have turkey throughout the year, right?
Anytime. You don't
cooked
need a
different way,
special
so
day, just-
it's cooked different way, not
Yeah.
like bacon in the oven.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Interesting. So how about foreigners though? Let's say a foreigner, they're working in China. They must take Christmas off.
Well, I think even in Canada, you can take Chinese New Year day off, right? If you want. When I was looking at the federal government, yes, you can actually take a day off. I don't know if it's like a earn a day off, but you're allowed to take a day off
Okay. Yeah.
for to celebrate your religion. But it's actually not a religion, right? It's like the Chinese New Year is a lunar New Year, right? So they celebrate the New Year same as the way that we celebrate the New Year here, right?
Right.
But it's just that it's a holiday over there, not here, right? So that's why some of the people here still want to take those day or one day off, because I think the belief is that on the first day of the year you're not supposed to work. It's also as simple as like, oh yeah, you're just working hard throughout the year. Why don't you just take that day off and rest? That's a good start, right?
Yeah,
For the whole year, right?
Well,
And that's the meaning.
it's funny you say that. So my mom, she observes all these Chinese traditions and holidays and reminds you of the fest. I can't remember all of them. It just seems like there's so many. But she has the same view about similar to you. I don't know you have the same view, but about showering, not daytime or nighttime. But it's like, let's say if it's your birthday or one of the days, if you shower, you are washing away your good luck.
Um, maybe I don't really um, know that, or maybe it's different. Yes, sometimes depends on the time. Yes, in certain time of the month, you're not supposed to shower because it's supposed to wash away your luck or whatever, right? And you can call it superstitious, right? I don't know about, maybe there's no
Like I
not
think she
so-called
believes
science.
she's more about is it Guan Yin, the goddess
Oh,
of
Guanyin, the
mercy?
goddess, yeah, the
Yeah,
not Buddha, right?
yeah.
The Guanyin. This is also another goddess in Chinese religion, right? In Buddhism, and then they created those because the Guanyin is supposed to be very kind to people, will always look after the people, you know. So yeah, so a lot of people worship
Yeah,
her, right? So,
yeah,
but not Buddha, but although they're kind of same in the same fairy tale,
yeah.
so to speak.
I think she's more on the Guan Yin side because think she's seen
Yes.
she had a necklace or something,
Yeah,
and
it's almost like the
yeah,
cross
yeah,
for
yeah, something
Christian,
like that.
right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing, yeah. So in that sense, I don't know if you call it the religion, but yeah. So they, if you worship that, that means you kind of believe that, you know, you get the blessing from her, right? So that's why, you know, the same thing, like, you know, um, Christians, you worship Jesus, you want to get the blessing, you know, whatever, right? So yeah.
So let's say for the holidays, and sometimes I find it's a little bit hypocritical if we're going to observe the Christian holidays, but then we don't observe the other cultures' holidays. And maybe I'm just being, I'm throwing it out there. I mean, as a thinking point, if we observe, let's say we got Diwali, and then we got Chinese New Year, and we got like all the other ones out there. Man, it would be great. We wouldn't have to work very much all year, right?
Yeah, so I think there's got to be a limit to this, right? Like, I mean, yeah, there's people from different ethnicity and minority and from different background, right? They come from different culture. So I mean, if you're strictly saying, oh, Canada, it's a mosaic
So
culture.
this is all superstition, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so everything is a superstition.
Yeah,
So to speak. So, okay, so back to what you're saying about different culture, right?
How is this? That's good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's
Yeah.
just similar because
Okay.
it doesn't have a lot of alcohol content, right?
Yeah, finish it up and we'll get the cranky
Yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah.
Because this only lasts a couple days. Yeah.
Yeah. So where was I?
Oh,
He
well,
was
so we were
about-
talking about if we
Oh, the
observe
culture,
all.
the cultural thing, right? Because
Yeah,
I mean,
all
yeah,
holidays.
now Canada does have like the Indian people, Chinese people, Vietnamese, Japanese, Korean, Mexican, you know, the people from all over the world, different background. They have their different holidays. So I mean, can we respect their holidays? If we do, like you say, oh, we're gonna be off every day. How's it gonna work? Like it's gonna cause disruption to the economy, right? Of course. Not spending too much time with the family is not. I don't know. It's not.
But
a good
in
thing,
your
or
view,
it's a good thing.
once AI takes over, that's all we can do.
Yes,
is nothing.
at that
right?
time we can do that, right? At that time we can, you know, have holidays. You know, you don't even work a day in your life.
Yeah.
So you know, if that's gonna be realized. But
So is there even a need for holidays once AI takes
and every day is
over?
a holiday.
Every day's a holiday.
Every day is a holiday. Imagine that. It's a dream come true, isn't it?
I don't know. I keep thinking.
So like, I mean, if you like sport, you go play pickleball every day. You go play badminton. You go play basketball, soccer. You know, you like playing games. You play game all day,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that fantastic?
But who makes the games?
Well,
AI?
The AI.
AI will make the
yeah,
games.
AI will make the games. Yes.
How does AI know what games I like though?
Oh, they will know because they have all the knowledge of the mankind. Like they get the knowledge from the internet, right? So
Yeah.
they know everything.
Yeah.
Even
yeah,
know
yeah.
what you like, what you don't like, right? Because they have the statistics.
So
They can even do scientific research. They can solve problems the PhD student won't even be able to do.
so the logo for the podcast. Do other nations recognize our holidays? Yeah, I already asked Kevin that, Sarah, and he said in China they don't. You don't observe.
It's sort of now
Christmas.
actually they're kind of boycotting Christmas because it's simply it's a different it's not a religion in China, but then people kind of celebrating that. So like I don't know, it's maybe and also a cultural difference. So there's something going on there, yeah. So maybe there's patriotism, right? Oh, so being, oh, why don't we just celebrate our holidays? Why you bring in all this holidays that don't even make sense to us? Because truly, a lot of people don't understand what Christmas is all about
Sure. But I
in
remember
other country.
when I
Yeah.
was in Hong Kong, I mean, they celebrated Christmas because they're a British colony, right? So they had a mix of Western and
yes.
Eastern holidays.
Yes. What's funny is that actually China now also celebrate Halloween, but
But not as a holiday.
not as a holiday.
Yeah, yeah. And we don't
But
we also don't celebrate it as a holiday. You don't get a day off. for
Halloween,
Halloween.
you don't get a day off,
No.
but they celebrate that
Yeah.
festival. I don't know if it's called festival, but
Yeah.
it basically Halloween is a celebration of that, right? So
Is it?
is it not a celebration
no.
of candy?
I think Halloween it's a pagan holiday on All Hallows Eve, and I think that's the the day after is some sort of maybe it's a pagan holiday to celebrate something. I can't remember what it is. Right? So it's not even. I guess you could say it's partially religious. I guess
Is it religious?
kind of. It's a pagan holiday, so
Yeah, so I know, but I think I heard one explanation is that Halloween is like everybody dress up like a ghost or whatever, right? Those things. So then the true ghosts they can come back from death and then kind of like meet the family. So then you don't get scared on the street if you see one of them, right?
Oh,
So
oh.
it one of the explanations like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I don't know.
I think in
the
Mexico
true
they have something
religions.
like that called Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Oh, and in some other countries, some other places, actually, the one day they actually go dig up the dead relatives, like the skeletons, and they dress them up
Oh, I
and
heard
and,
about
and
that.
spend time with the
Yeah.
pretending they're sitting there,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like pretend they come back to life, and then
Yeah.
spend time with them like that.
Yep, yeah, I remember
So
that.
I don't know. It seems a bit extreme to you, and I don't know if it's a good idea.
And it's not sanitary, maybe.
Well, they probably give them a bath and take a shower for them in the morning, before they bring them back, right? So
Yeah.
So-
I shouldn't laugh at other people's cultures.
no.
But
It-
yeah.
it's not funny, but it's like that's the way they practice. That's the way they try to remember the ancestors, right? Because it's their physical issue there, right?
Yeah.
But then, some other countries define that a bit, I don't know, odd, right? So, but
Sure.
we don't do the same thing doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to you, but to them that's how they do it, right?
But I mean,
But
initially,
here same thing because there's when your relatives that you bury them in the cemetery
Yeah.
and you pay visits from every now and then, right?
Yeah.
You take some flowers and then go there on Sunday and sit there, maybe talk for an hour. It's like I don't know what you're talking to. Like maybe you think you're talking to your relatives, like they were listening there with you, but I don't know what's going on there, right? Same
Yeah.
thing, right? You think that's religious, but do you believe that a soul does exist, or they actually come back and listen listen to what you're saying?
but going back to the Singles Day, initially I thought it was funny because I say, oh, you got a Singles Day by Alibaba, right? But then I thought about, hey, we have a Prime Day, which we treat almost as a
No, yeah.
holiday
So
too.
all these days created by, because all these holidays created by human, right? So
Yeah.
so it's actually for Black Friday or Prime Day or Double 11 Day. It's commercial. It's like a smart business idea, right?
Sure.
It just try to capture people's and passion, and encourage them to buy stuff. Just give them another reason to buy, and for sure, there's a lot of stuff is going to go on sale. Have huge discounts, right? So, in fact, a lot of people is waiting for that day to buy stuff because they know the price is going to drop on that day.
And you know what's funny is, in fact, this year we had 2 Prime Days.
Yeah,
Because
so they're going to make more if they keep
they
making
didn't
money.
sell
Why
enough
not,
the first
right?
Prime Days. So it was
Well,
like, hey, make
let's give you another
Prime Day.
chance. It's like, maybe it's going to be a Prime week,
Yeah.
right? And then it's going to be a Prime month. It's going to be a Prime year, right?
So maybe you won't
As
just have
long as
a
they're making
11, you might have a 22, 33.
Yeah, and maybe they'll give you another holiday. It's called your
Yeah.
lucky day, right?
Yeah.
So,
But it's all to get more money out of us. And
Yes.
this was part
just
of what
give
I...
you another reason to buy, because I think our human being, it's actually we're social mammals, right? Because we tend to do stuff on the collective level, because
Yeah,
we
but
see somebody else doing it, we
that's
kind of try to do it as well, right? So we have a sense of being part of something.
But that's to Sarah's point
That's
about
called a
spending
trend.
time with family and friends. That's probably what it should be about, but it's become more about consumerism, buying more stuff.
Yes,
Right?
It hijacked it by consumerism. It's
Yeah.
just like Halloween, right? It's hijacked it by the candy.
Because people
factory.
can't make money off of love and
Yes.
family and friends, right?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
spending
yeah.
time, because that's free.
That's free.
Yeah.
That's free. Because you just spend time with your family, means like spend some quality time with them. Doesn't matter like you give them things or not. It's so material, right? It's people. It's like, oh, what gives you give it to me? It's like, oh, if you give me shitty gifts, like, oh, you don't love me. Like if you give me expensive gifts, oh, you love me, and that's it. The next day you forgot about it, right? It's like,
Yeah.
so it's almost like materials. It's kind of like a way to measure how much you love me and how much you don't.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing, right?
I don't know. Ever
Because
since
obviously it's going on,
yeah.
right? So that's why in the holidays, Christmas, I never buy any gift for
Okay.
my nephews and nieces. Instead, I just give them money.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Like
so-
Chinese New Year.
They're like
I
Chinese
see.
New Year's, the lucky
Yeah.
pocket money.
Yeah, yeah.
So just take the money and buy whatever you want, right? I don't give you a lot of money, right? But you can save it. I'll put it in your bank and do whatever you want, right? I'm not buying you anything, but
Yeah.
this money would help you in one way or the other in the future or right now. It's up to you. That's what I give you.
Yeah.
It's just a good wish, you know. So so that's different buying this because actually it's a hassle
But you know, in
to,
fact,
to go shopping for all your friends and relatives.
Yeah.
It's very hectic.
but in fact, like I think before the 1900s even,
Yeah.
Christmas wasn't really about a Santa Claus. I mean, there is the rumor that Coca-Cola is the one who
Invented it?
Not to invented, but it kind of added to the Saint Nicholas myth.
Yes.
Right?
Santa Claus
So-
is never in the Bible, right?
Yeah, and well, oh, no, there was apparently a Saint Nicholas, and that's where Santa Claus would derive from, and
Yeah,
but-
so they have to get it from somewhere
but
where there's
prior-
all the religions
prior to that-
reference to it, right?
prior to that, Christmas was just like you would have a nice meal, family and friends. It's not really about exchanging gifts, but
No.
it became that way because it drives the economy.
I think it's more about like get together and talk about things, get closer to each other, right? Like maybe just talk, during dinner and after dinner, whatever, right? Basically, you in one place.
Yes.
You just spending that time instead of like because even right now, right? Things have changed so much. Everybody have their phone, right? So when you see each other, you're not talking directly to each other. Instead, you're just looking at the phones.
Yeah.
How many families in the holidays? Actually, everybody just holding their phones and then
One hand eating
texting,
and just
texting
like
somebody
this,
else that is not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those somebody else is more important than the people right in front of you. So because those are your close families. So the point of the holiday has changed. It's almost like it's unfortunate that you have to spend this time with your family, but you want to be with somebody else.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think because of social media or because of technology.
Yes, talk about technology changing life.
Yeah.
That's how technology changed people's lives.
So it's hard for us to focus on the people in front of us because
So,
we're
I
still
mean,
trying to keep touch with everybody else.
But in this case, it's not a good thing, right? Because while you with
agree.
your family and you still like holding your phone, try to text somebody else, who's more important than your family, right?
Yeah, I guess. But let's say. No, you're right. You're right. I'm not even going to argue that point because you're right.
It's not an argument,
Nobody
it's
should
just the
be
fact that I'm
important
pointing
than the
out.
family, but it doesn't end up that way because we're with family right now.
Yeah.
And I guess somebody texts us, and then we answer because maybe it's just out of habit, right? We do it because we're used to answering the phone and texting.
Yeah.
So we're trained that way, right? So whatever we're looking out in front of us, then something happens, we just, like a dog, we just do the same thing. We forget about what we're doing. It's like, oh, okay, I better answer to this person because that's what I'm trained to do.
Yes, you can call it a habit, right? But I think sometimes, like for example, you're spending quality time with your kids, and you receive a phone call. So maybe you obviously think that phone call is more important than the time that you're spending with your kids right now. So how important that would be?
I think it
Like
depends.
somebody's house on fire, like, you know?
I think it depends, Kevin. So, for example, if you have somebody in the family who is a fireman, right? They can't just turn off their phone,
Yes, in that case.
or fire
So,
person.
of fireman, yeah, firewoman.
Yeah, fire person.
Okay. That's why robot is so much better. Fire robot.
Yeah, that we don't have to.
Right? So we have to put a gender on it. Holy crap. Um. Anyways,
I'm protecting you.
no, not protecting me. Anyways, so, right, yes, in that case, right, like for example, you're on call 24/7 because the nature of your job, like,
Yeah.
okay, you have to, like for example, you're a doctor on call, or whatever, right? So whenever you maybe then you should carry two phones. One is for work, one is for personal, right? If like the work phone rings, that means something important is gonna happen. They're not gonna call you to just say hi, right? You know,
Why should I have to carry two phones?
so then you know who's calling,
Yeah,
Right?
Yes, but
right?
but you have caller ID.
Yeah, you well, yeah. So okay, yeah. So if you know who's calling, then you may ignore it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but that's just trivial. Like that's not the main case, right?
Sure.
What I'm talking about is that you have all this device here. Now you become the slave of the device. You
Yes.
depend so much on it that because now your life basically revolves around your phone. Because it's no longer a tool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A tool, that means you can pick it up and put it away anytime. But you kind of like what's happening right now. When you go to bed, you don't go to bed right away. You just still watching, you know, those TikTok video. I don't know, like, right, Sharon? Um, so me too, right?
Yeah,
so,
I don't-
like
I
I
don't-
just
I don't
keep
like
watching
TikTok,
because
yeah.
those are like, you know, you get I think quick entertainment.
Yeah.
That's what I call, right?
Yeah.
So by the time you know another hour is already gone,
Yeah.
and you end up going to the bed late.
Okay.
And the first thing you wake up in the morning, what do? You check your phone. Like, oh, do I have any message? But are those important? From your past experience, none of those it's important, right?
Maybe it's different
You just
for
check
me.
your Facebook, your family, your social network message. None of those are important.
So maybe it's just me because not just me. I think for me as an entrepreneur, so I have my own business, and I know that there's about the TikTok comment. Yeah. So you what was I gonna say?
What TikTok?
What? No, no. You knew that she.
Yes.
She does TikTok. Those 3 minutes before bed are the best 3 hours spent on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
3
talking
minutes
about, right?
turned into 3 hours. Right?
Yeah. So what my point is that now people become the slave of your phone.
Yeah.
Because I think you think there's so much life in your phone other than the reality that you're in.
Yeah, and for me, it's a little different because I have my business. I feel like every time I have my phone, and it makes a sound, I know it's probably somebody wanting something from me, right? Oh, my door isn't working, or
Yeah.
my security system, or I need help with technology, this, that, and you say, I also need my own time, right? I need my time to turn off. I need to recharge because I help you guys out, during the working hours, which is fine. But then
Yeah.
recognizing the boundaries of personal time, and I get it. Sometimes there are emergencies, which I do respond to. So if you're telling me your door cannot open, then I think, okay, I need help. But
So-
if it's not a priority, like my
But
my
they
system
don't-
is
they don't
making
care.
a dinging sound, but you're going home anyway
Yeah.
from work, so nobody else is gonna really.
But I
care.
think sometimes your customer don't care, right? Whether it's like 11 or 12 or, p.m. at night
Sure,
or a.m. at night, right? They don't
Yeah.
care, right?
Yeah.
If they have a problem, they need to solve it.
they think they need it solved right now.
They think they need to solve it, but actually it's nothing important.
But I
right?
do have some really considerate customers because they'll even say, I don't need your help right now, but maybe later. And
So that's why from your end, what you can do is that you get another phone, right? Or you need to find a way to distinguish the message that is coming in, right? Or you think, oh, that's a message from work.
Sure.
Then you think maybe that's important, right?
yeah,
But in all this, right? What end up doing is that it's almost like the phone is training you to respond. It's almost like, you know, how they do experiments with the dogs, right? Like conditional
Yeah,
response.
Pavlov's
Pavlov's
response.
conditional
Yeah,
response.
yeah, yeah.
Same thing. The phone is training you to that. You when you hear a ding, oh, it's something important. It's nothing important,
Yeah.
but your life it's get disrupted.
Yeah. No,
That's exactly what
I'll
happened.
be honest. When I hear a ding, I just like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not looking
You,
at it.
you all of a sudden start drooling. And,
No, not at all.
not at all.
Reverse conditioning. I was like, no, I don't want to look at that because as soon as I look at it, I know it's gonna suck me into some sort of thing I have to do.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm tired. Right. I
Yeah.
need to. I need my time, and I realized this after my accident more so, is that I need time away from people. I need to
You
relax.
need some personal time.
I need my personal
It's like
time.
the time
Yeah.
to yourself. The
Yeah.
way you can reflect and relax and then unwind, right?
Yeah, like this. I like doing this. So we're talking, and we normally do this, right? I mean, most people. I don't know. Most people won't know this, but it's not just for the podcast. We have these interesting discussions, and that's why we decided to start this podcast. Because hey, why not put it on and see what other people think, right? Because between the two of us, we do have lively debates. Because you're a Chinese-born Canadian mindset, and I'm a Canadian-born Chinese. So I don't believe a lot of the superstitions, but then I respect it because my parents believed it, and you still have a lot of those things, but you've adopted a lot of Canadian culture too, right? Like
I get to know a lot of Canadian cultures, yes.
you're one of the very few Chinese guys I know who has a pickup truck.
So I'm a yellow net, yeah.
Exactly.
So
You try too hard.
no, not trying too hard. This is the fact that when you change your environment, right, you kind of adopt to the culture and the way people live their life. So it's a must, right? It's almost like no. Now today's Christmas.
Okay.
None of the store it's open except Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
They don't close
and
all
Indian,
year round.
And Indian.
And Indians and maybe some other countries like those
Korean?
other restaurant Koreans maybe.
I doubt it. No, Korean are very
Maybe
Christian.
Mexicans, I don't know. Like
No,
because
they're
I
very
think
Catholic.
even now in the mall, right? There's still some store opened because they simply don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
Because maybe they're Muslim, Islamic, right? Whatever
So
they
my
believe
breakfast
are.
today was Chinese food because I
And,
know they're
and the
open.
delivering guy,
Yeah, he's purple. Well, yeah.
right? So they're working. So to them, is it offensive for them not to work, not to follow the holiday? On the other hand, because you were
know-
saying, "Oh, we're not celebrating their holiday," but then now they don't respect our holiday.
But
What's going
you know
on
what
there?
sucks for those Uber drivers is because they're not employees. They're not like regular.
Yeah,
they
because
don't
they're,
get paid.
they're self-employed.
Yeah,
so to
they don't
speak,
get
right?
what is it, 2.5 times today?
No, they don't. They don't.
No, they don't. But
They don't.
if you were to work on Christmas Day, then you do, right?
Nobody work on Christmas Day, right?
I'm sure.
Yeah. So
Tim
for them,
Hortons
yes.
and
I mean,
whatever is open.
I mean, our regular
Yeah.
corporate like
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
They don't open Christmas Day. Not even Canadian Tire. Not even like those major retail store, right?
Well, because it's too expensive to pay them 2.5 times, right?
Right.
If they only had to pay them maybe
Right.
1.5 times,
Right.
maybe they would open.
Right. I think yeah. So maybe that's a small win for the people, from the lower class.
How about in China? Let's say they make you work in Chinese New Year. Do you get paid more?
No, you don't work on the Chinese New Year. Everything is shut down.
Nobody opens?
Like even the stock market is shut down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So regardless, nobody
Regardless, it's like for 10 days, nobody worked.
Police have
That's
to
why
work.
sometimes when you
No,
try to
Kevin,
order something
come on.
from there,
Police.
like, oh, we don't have any worker in the factory.
Police-
Even if you order the
Police have to work.
No, the city is actually empty. Like Beijing, Shanghai, those city.
There's
a
no
lot of-
fires. There's no firemen.
Yeah, probably because the streets is empty. Nobody's in the house. What
I
fire?
don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah, maybe a few fire.
Hospitals, doctors, come on.
Yeah, hospital
Yeah.
doctors. Yes, so there's still some doctors on call. Maybe the hospital's not as busy as it used to be, right? Because seriously, when you look, I think the Chinese New Year coming up in mid-January, right?
Oh.
So the whole city will be empty, like in Beijing.
Sir said, Cineplex is open. Nurses have to work too.
Yeah,
police and
Cineplex
hospitals.
always open. So
Yeah.
obviously the guy don't follow the Christian
Yeah.
holiday, right? They don't celebrate the birthday. So
So they're gonna get paid 2.5 times or so.
yes,
Yeah.
because I don't know if it's the tradition because they know a lot of people actually don't celebrate Christmas, but they have to have that holiday, right? So
I
what else you
believe,
can do?
Kevin,
Oh, let's just open the cinema. So
when my kids were still in the house, I think we went on Christmas days. It was kind of like a mini tradition. We'd have Lord of the Rings marathon, but we'd also see a movie on Christmas.
yes, I think the cinema's always open.
Yeah.
Even when when just came to Canada back then, it may be a tradition. I don't know.
Potentially. I
Yeah.
mean, police and hospitals, I know those are open. In China, I
Because
don't know.
those are the basic services, right? You have
Yeah.
to.
In China, it must be the same too.
No, I'm sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
they must have. It's like, okay, those are the people who are the heroes.
I'd also like to know-
and be respected. You know.
On the new in Chinese New Year, people don't watch movies. I'm sure they do. I'm sure. of it.
In New Year?
What do you do for a
Oh
week?
no! New Year they do have they
Yeah.
have what is called the New Year movie. Actually, they
Yeah.
make tons of money in the
Yeah.
box office.
So people are working in Chinese New Year.
Just some people are working.
Yeah. So they must. Do they get paid?
Yeah. So
extra?
they just want to make money. So,
No, but
so
do they get paid extra like over here? They must. Must be.
I am not sure about that because I think their pay is fixed. They
Oh.
probably get a lucky pocket
Bonus.
money
Okay.
for that, but I don't know. Obviously, for some people, spending time with the family is less important
Yeah.
than making money. And you can argue that by making money and provide for them, it's more important. So here you go, right? There's
Yeah.
another debate, right?
Yeah.
So, but where does this end, right? So I mean, it's not necessarily a debate. I think
Yeah.
it's up to each individuals. It depends. If you see that it's important, then it's important to spend time with your family.
Like
If you don't see that, like you go out to work and maybe you say, "Oh, that's how I show my love to my family because I'm working on even the holiday. I'm not resting. So that's how I show my love to my family." Sure, I agree, right?
But I will say,
But
I thought.
I mean, if you have the privilege,
Yeah.
don't need to work, then why would you work, right?
Like
So-
exactly, and I that's where I thought more about what you said about with AI. So, if you could get it to the point where AI took over all the jobs, and they're creating the food, they're doing all the work. Humans, we don't need to worry about money anymore because everything's taken care of.
So I think the danger is that there's going to be a lot of leftover humans. Human
But-
resource, not human resource, the same thing. Okay.
Okay.
So the dangers is that, right? So depends on how you handle this. This is a serious question. That's why yesterday I asked you what is the solution?
Yeah, but
If-
why
if
is
that
there
happened.
why is there leftover human resources?
Because then machines doing all the work,
yeah,
right? So depends on who owns the machine. See the difference?
no. What do you mean?
If capitalist, in a capitalist country, who owns the machine?
It doesn't.
I'm
matter
sure it's not the
anymore.
Uber guy.
Does it matter anymore? Because
It does.
no, because
does.
there's no. There technically would be no use
don't
for
look
money.
in the future. Don't look in the future.
Yeah.
But look at what's happening so far. Like
Yeah.
okay, it's the assembly line for an auto factory.
Yeah, yeah,
When they introduce the machine arm, right? So
Yeah.
they can assemble.
sure. Which
You know,
they
the
already
assembly
have.
line, which
They
already have.
Yeah,
So what would they do? They lay off workers.
yeah.
They work 24 hours a day. They don't need to rest.
No, that's a totally different
No,
scenario.
it's automation.
I get it.
in that
that's,
case.
that's a different scenario. The scenario I'm saying is further into the future.
Yes.
That everything's taken care of. Those auto workers doesn't matter because you still get food because the robots are so efficient. They're making food for everybody. Everyone gets a fair portion.
So my question is, are we heading that direction? I know AI is happening. Nobody can stop it now.
Do we want to head in that direction?
No, it's not that we want. You and I cannot make a decision. I'm saying, as a collective society, are the capitalist country
Yeah.
heading that direction,
But
or the communist party is heading that direction?
I don't think we, let's say 1,000 years into the or maybe 200 years into the future. Let's say
Yeah.
this is possible. Doesn't matter. Capitalists, communists.
You still see 200 years later, yes. So it doesn't matter. So what would happen? Some things are gonna happen, right?
Okay, let me throw a scenario out to you. Let's say if everybody is satisfied.
Yeah.
Everyone gets their food. You have a certain amount of food. You have a certain amount of this. you don't but the only thing is nobody gets treated special. Nobody gets extra. So all these monitors I have, maybe everybody gets 2 monitors. That's
So
it.
maybe they can satisfy 90% of your need.
Sure. But okay, let me go
Yeah.
further.
Yeah.
So all of this, you and I, we both get 2 monitors. We have a fridge full of food.
Yeah.
Not the greatest food, no caviar, no nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone gets
No,
2
you
couches,
don't even need food in your house.
1 fridge, 1 dishwasher, everything, and robots all make it.
Yeah.
We get the exact same house. Everyone gets the same house.
So maybe you don't even need a house anymore. You just maybe live in like a hotel
Sure.
sort
Or
of
a condo
sort
or
of
something
condo
like
kind of
that,
something
yeah.
like that.
Okay.
All you need is
Now,
there.
are we okay with this? You and I, it's exactly
No, you
equal.
don't. You're not okay with it now. Maybe our mindset will change. That's what I'm saying. So why you develop this whole mindset that I have to have a house? Because for the longest time, we kind of like developed to this stage. It's like, oh, I need to have my own house. I need my private space and whatever, blah 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 blah. But look at what now. Privacy is going away, right? And people kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
Right. So compared to 20 years ago, privacy is like, oh, it's a big no. But now look at what happened. People say, oh, well, I don't give a crap about my privacy because basically there's no privacy anymore, right? So people kind of changed their mind and accepted it.
But you were saying, let's say you have AI, then you don't need to. Well, you just do whatever you want. You can play video games. You can, you don't have to work because there's no need for work. Robots
Yeah.
take care of everything already, right?
Yes.
Then what do humans do? So we
You just
We
go
wake up.
have fun.
have fun. We
Yes.
go, do some sports maybe.
Yeah, but do some sports. Have a drink. Have a coffee with your friends.
Yeah.
Talk. Yap yap yap.
8 hours. Well, not 8 hours.
Not
like,
8 hours.
for-
This is maybe like
the
oh,
whole day.
The whole day. So yeah, see how you're gonna handle.
Would you
that,
not be
right?
bored?
Well, so see, that's still the mindset. So I think there's still things need to explore, right?
Yeah.
How you gonna handle that? Like for example, let's say all of a sudden this guy, like he had like 5 jobs. One day he won the lottery,
Yeah.
$10 million, right? He can retire. Like all of a sudden he doesn't know what to do,
Well, they
right?
go.
He had all this money. He
They
doesn't
go
need
on
to work
vacation.
anymore.
They go on.
Right?
Most of them go on vacation.
Yeah,
They buy
to
another
buy
house.
stuff like
Yeah.
all that. So maybe you can ask what happened 2 years later. Right? Can he still like keep doing this? Like, oh boy, same thing. Like first when people retire, right? It's just like, oh, I'm so excited for my retirement. I'm planning my vacation here and there, right? And normally what I'm hearing is that people after like a couple of years,